Hello. Welcome back, everyone, to another Talk, Listen, Share. Tonight, we have a bunch of special guests on, and we are going to be talking all about our 2022-2023 season kickoff for Shay's Warriors. So Shay's Warriors is Shay's Warriors Life After Cancer, is a 501c3 nonprofit that was formed in the Greater Palm Springs area and beyond to initially help women who have gone through breast and other reproductive cancers. Since then, Shay's Warriors has expanded our mission to help all cancer survivors thrive in life after cancer. So tonight, I wanted to talk a little bit about how, just do a quick intro about what Shay's Warriors is, our origin story, and what we do, and all the different programs that are available for cancer survivorship, for the cancer survivors themselves, and also for their caretakers and their support team, and want to let you know all the great events that are coming up, especially kicking off in October, Breast Cancer Awareness Month. So here we all are. Hello, everyone. And I'm just going to run really quickly through kind of our origin story. And if I miss anything, please pop in and add your 2 cents, because all of you've been with Shay's Warriors since the beginning. So here we go. So like most other nonprofits, there's always a story behind, there's always that origin story. And Shay's Warriors started in 2016 when Shay was diagnosed with triple negative breast cancer. And she fought for her life until the day she was told that her cancer was gone. Bye-bye.
That was the end of the story then? Or did it keep going?
Huh?
That's like that's not even the end of the story. That's like the beginning.
No,
right?
That's the beginning.
Yeah.
And then, like, so this is like the beginning of the beginning, right? So then she started Shay's Warriors, right? So that, so because once you're done with the active cancer treatment, then you are like put out into the world and you're like, oh, now what? So she formed Shay's Warriors so that there could be a network of support for all, like, throughout the valley and throughout the nation, of people who are going through the same thing as she was. And so our mission now as Shay's Warriors is living life after cancer is tough. We will inspire, inform, empower, and help heal cancer survivors and their families through health, fitness, and the mind-body connection. And that's a lot of, I think, pretty simple yet complicated things that we do. And Talk, Listen, Share is part of that mind-body connection that we always strive to be on point with. So
can I add something, Sonia, to the
absolutely,
origin story?
Nate.
You did a great job.
Thank you.
Yeah,
without Shay here.
Yes, without Shay. I did not have the cancer. You know, I watched Shannon go through it, and I know that, you know, getting that good news that cancer is gone, or at least there's no evidence of detection, was like, well, you can restart your life now. But I saw her struggle with fear of reoccurrence and just kind of overall how to get back to normal life. and I tried my best to like support her as a friend and as a partner. But I think only people that are going through it can understand it as much as she did. And I know that when she went off to a retreat, that was just a yoga retreat she was part of, she had this vision of this retreat she wanted to put on that would help heal and put people into give them a new lease on life and kind of a mission of what they can do and find a community of other cancer supporters to support her. And she had this dream, but it was like, well, how is that ever going to work? And then she started Shay's Warriors, and COVID hit, and all of this stuff happened. And then amazingly, everybody came together and worked so hard over 2 years to have that retreat, right? And I know, Angela, you were there, and Eileen, you were one of the benefactors, right?
I sure am.
Being at that retreat and to see it pull off and how women's lives were changed. I wasn't there, but I know from the testimonials I've read, and of course what Eileen is going to share later, I just know that Shay's Warriors is the reason we're all here, obviously, tonight to volunteer and share what's going to be happening so we can get the second one going, next June.
Yep. Yeah. And but throughout the year, there's a lot of different programming that we offer constantly. And of course, Talk, Listen, Share. And then there's Coffee and Connect. And our podcasts and our blogs and our social media, Facebook groups, where you can get 24/7 support. There's so many things. And I think that a lot of people don't know all the different programming that we do for for cancer survivors to support their journey. And I mean, this is just one thing. And really, this kind of was like born from COVID, this type of like our Talk, Listen, Share and our webinar type of programming and education. But I think that it's going to continue. A lot of people we have some fantastic speakers planned for this season. But we will announce those at a later date.
Yeah, that's right. That always keeps it exciting. Can I share some of those resources and where they're at so that people can get to them?
Please.
All right, so I'm going to screen share and just kind of show you, walk through a really quick where they are on the actual Shay's Warriors site. I got to pull it back up here. Sorry. So let's take a look at that quick. A couple buttons here. Share. Okay. Can you guys see that? Sorry, it took a second. Can you see that?
There we go.
So yeah,
we can.
All of the things that Sonia was talking about that go out through the year, one of the best places to connect is right here on the shay'swarriors.org website. And what I love to go is to the community events, of course, we'll get to with Angela in a second. But if we go to the community page, there's all of these amazing resources. So obviously we're on Talk, Listen, and Share right now. But there's been so many cool Talk, Listen, and Shares that were all recorded. And you can watch any of those by going back onto the YouTube channel right here. There's the Shay's Warriors blog that I actually want to click on to be able to share that there is all of these stories of hope and healing, other survivor stories that you can connect to, and a lot of tips from past Talk, Listen, and Shares and other things. Those are available there. As you mentioned, Sonia, there's a podcast that you can find these actually if you go on what is it called? Spotify itself. You can download the Shay's Warriors podcast, and every time there's a new podcast upload, you'll be notified, or you can go right to the website to be able to get those. So that's another great spot. You have music playlists you can listen to, curated by Shay's Warriors, awesome volunteers. And then probably the best way to find out ongoing things is the Instagram, Shay's Warriors, if you haven't already joined and connected with us on Instagram. Probably the best place to get up to date, second by second, almost daily, things that's going on with Shay's Warriors. And if you're a survivor or a supporter and you really want to know more and kind of get in depth with the community, There's a private Facebook page that you can request to be part of. And then kind of going through the website also, we got events, which I'm not going to steal your thunder, Angela, but all of those events she's going to talk about later are there, and places where you can register for them. And then, of course, our amazing shop, which we'll probably show at the end. Well, that was my bad. Wrong button.
Whoops.
But the amazing shop also that we can be a part of, so where you can support Shay's Warriors. Did it stop screen sharing? I think it did.
Yeah. It did.
Well, that was weird. So
yeah,
it
was very strange.
Some of the stuff where you can connect.
Yes. And like a shirt like what Nate's wearing. There you go. There you go. So you can get that at the Shay's Warriors store as well. And there's like a rainbow of colors of Shay's Warriors. Oh, there you go. And Angela's Warrior Survivor Thriver shirt.
I can't get it in the picture. But.
Love it. There you go. There you go.
There it is. There it is. There it is. So each color of shirt represents a specific cancer awareness month. So this month is the
blood
red
cancer.
shirt
for
blood cancer. And we'll talk a little bit more about that in a little bit later.
But 100% of the proceeds, right? All the proceeds go to Shay's Warriors. The events, and especially going to support sending the next group of people that will go next June to the Warrior Retreat. The I Am Hope Survivor.
The I Am Hope Retreat. And we are going to send 45 women, I believe, this year.
45?
That's the goal. That is the goal.
Wow.
We did 25 last year.
Yeah.
We want to do 45 this year. So we have a lot of goals to meet this year, but it will be an amazing experience for 45 women. So let's head to our events, because there are a lot of things going on, especially next month, October being Breast Cancer Awareness Month. And we have a ton of partnerships and community supporters that we are going to be partnering with. Yoga 6, and then, what was it? Pilates and
Pilates.
Oh my gosh, Club Pilates, so many things. So, Angela, do you want to take on all of our events that are coming up very, very soon, starting next week?
Yes. So let's start with the month of October. Starting next week, we have 3 events going on. So the first one is October 5th, Wednesday, at La Quinta Brewery, and that's in collaboration with Xavier, and it's Mom's Night Out.
What?
Yes.
Mom's Night Out?
Mom's Night
Sorry,
Out.
Nate.
I'm sure it's for the moms, but
Sorry,
I don't
Nate.
think that they'll turn you away if you come to the door.
No, actually, last year I was there. It was pretty funny. There was all the moms, and
Nice.
I was pretty much the only guy there, but I didn't mind. That was good, and it went to a good cause, some beer and some great food. So.
Yes, and I think we're doing bingo this year. I'm not sure what we did last year, but I think we're doing bingo. So
Cool.
the proceeds will be divided up between Shay's Warriors and Xavier for their scholarships, and then to help send another survivor towards our retreat. And then on Friday, the 7th, we have 2 events going on. One is kind of a collaboration with Yoga 6, kind of like our coffee and connection, but we're doing it on a Friday. And it's in La Quinta, and I know we have the address. Sonia, do you have the address handy?
It's in the Sprouts
Yes.
Shopping Center.
Oh, you got it?
Yes, in the Sprout Shopping Center. You can find all the particulars on our Shay's Warriors events page.
Perfect. And I believe that's from 5 to 7. And
Yes.
then Friday.
And it's donation based.
Oh,
It's
yes,
donation based too.
donation-based, and all proceeds go directly back to Shay, 100%. So if you like a little bit of stretching, yoga, and a little social collaboration with others, we highly recommend that you come. Also on Friday the 7th, we have Wine and Dine around the world at Palm Springs Air Museum. And this is, they're going to be pairing different wines throughout the world with the food from that region. This is done by Marker Broadcasting that is donating money directly back to local charities, and we happen to be one of them.
So those are the same people that put on that awesome Wind Down Wednesdays, right?
Yes, yes.
And this is kind of like their culminating event?
Yes. Yeah, this is the finale.
I've got tickets to it. I know that you can go on, again, Shay's Warriors website and purchase a ticket to it, right?
Yes, the tickets are $75 each. And like I said, it goes to the local charities. I believe we'll be having a silent auction as well. And so you can, we're going to try and raise money that way too.
Yeah, Shay's Warriors merch and other cool things. Awesome.
Yes. Then we have, I believe it's the Tour de Palm Springs is July 11th, correct? I mean,
February.
February.
Sorry, I'm jumping
Right.
ahead.
It's okay.
Right,
I was like, wait.
Yeah.
Well, I think in
there's-
October 8th too, if I can jump in real
Yes,
quick,
please.
Angela.
'Cause-
I just wanted to mention that Shay's Warriors team will be walking in the annual Paint El Paseo Pink breast cancer walk down on El Paseo in Palm Desert. So if you want to join the Shay's Warriors team, you can do that from our website as well.
Yeah, and that's good to be on our team, actually. I mean, you can obviously support the cause no matter what, but to sign up before, I know that 2 years ago they ran out of t-shirts just because it was such a popular event, just not the Shay's Warriors team, but overall, because, it's such a support event, and now we can get out. Should be a beautiful morning, right? Come on,
Absolutely.
switch, change the weather a little bit. So yeah, like you said, again, a great place to go is to write to the Shay's Warriors website, go to the events page, and then you can register and push the button. It brings you right to signing up for the Shay's Warriors team to walk with us, and of course, register for the event right there.
Absolutely.
Right.
And it's super easy to do. Yep.
Yep.
Yeah.
Thank you. And then we have our next Coffee and Connection on a Saturday, the October 15th at Yoga 6 in Palm Desert. And that's from 8 to 10. And again, it's donation based. And all proceeds go 100% back to Shay's.
Can I get Eileen to get in on this conversation for a second? Eileen, I was not at the I Am Hope Survivors Reset retreat, but I read a lot of the testimonials, that people sent back. And one of the things that surprised me is how many people that were at the retreat really loved the yoga. So maybe I might be putting you on the spot. You're like, that's not me. But can you just talk a little bit about the yoga and the experience? I know Yoga 6 is a little bit different, but just maybe being intimidated about yoga, but going and still enjoying it.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. I had done yoga a long, long time ago. So I was really happy that we were going to do some yoga. And what I found that it was a great way to really start the day and end some of the sessions with breathing or whatever, because it really does bring in your mind. You kind of like center in on yourself, and you don't really have to be good at it, or, that was my thing. I was afraid my balance is bad and all that. And Shay is such a wonderful teacher that I just felt very safe, very comfortable. And it was just a good way to kind of relax and just kind of start to let go, because that's what the retreat became. Was as each day went by, we were just kind of shedding layers and layers of ourselves. And the yoga was really a big part of it, because it was with the yoga where I really started to get in tune with my emotions. At one point, we had a little break, and I went over to Eileen and I said, "It's making me cry." And
Mhm.
she said, that's good. And so I just kind of let it go with that. And then it just opened up a lot of avenues for me, really did. And now I'm going to two of the Yoga 6 events because I really want to start to learn more about yoga.
Yeah, well, what a cool thing. And for me, I was an athlete all the time. So being an athlete, it's always about trying to win, trying to be good at it, right? So I didn't want to go to yoga because I'm like, this is weird maybe, or I don't know what I'm doing, or what if I'm not good at it? And one of the most refreshing things ever is to be told you actually don't need to be good at it. You just have to be, because it's about you, and the practice has nothing to do with, no one's looking at you like you're not bouncing, or people get worried, but I can't stretch or my body doesn't move. But that's truly the whole point. There's no beating. There's no competition. It was like, oh, I can practice something where it's about peace and it's not about winning.
Plus, you can have a room full of people, but you really feel like you're by yourself. You know what I mean? I never felt like people were watching me, or I was being compared with anyone else, or for all the fear of, oh my gosh, I'm not going to do this right.
Sure.
Once I started to do it, I didn't feel awkward at all.
So cool. I just wanted to throw that in there because I think a lot of people think of yoga and they're like, I don't know. And that sounds like a neat event. And I'd like to support Shay's Warriors, but yoga's not for me, or I've never done it, or I'm not gonna be good at it. It's like, no, it's such a welcoming practice for anyone. It's just awesome. So I hope everybody would go to that.
Yep. And it's really cool because we are doing a combination Talk, Listen, Share, Coffee, and Connect for that particular Yoga 6 collaboration. And we will be filming live Talk, Listen, Share from Yoga 6 and talking to
cool.
Yes, and talking to the instructors and really getting into movement, and how movement is so supportive in any stage of life, but specifically for cancer survivorship. So it's going to be a great educational event, and it's going to also get you to move. It's also going to help benefit Shay's Warriors as well. So it's going to be so many great things combined into one event.
Cool.
Looking forward to it.
Oh, she just needed a minute.
Absolutely.
I was like, she's like, don't take me out. I thought she had to go. Okay. All right. So that's that. Keep going. So that part's tough. October.
Yes. So, and then the last activity that we have just for October is on another Coffee and Connection at Club Pilates in Rancho Mirage. And that's on a Sunday. So make sure you pay attention, because there's one on Friday, one on Saturday, and one on Sunday. Okay. And that's from 7:30 a.m. to 9. Again, donation based. Don't have to know how to do the Pilates. Just, again, similar to the yoga, getting in there and being with yourself and shedding those layers and getting stronger and more flexible. So
it's kind of a great opportunity, these events, to be able to get something for yourself, obviously for your own healing, get to know the other people in Shay's Warriors, and know more about the organization. And of course, by just participating, you're financially helping for the mission itself. So that's kind of a win-win-win.
Right. And on top of all of that, at each event, like the Coffee and Connection events, we're going to be having a raffle prizes, and you don't have to be present to win. We're going to start it at on the 7th, bring our raffle prizes. You can buy tickets, and then we'll bring it to the next one and to the next one. So on the 23rd will be the actual drawing of the tickets to give some people some really amazing prizes.
Cool.
And then, so that's the month of October. Help me out. What's going on in November?
So we're going to skip over November and December, and our next big So there will still be Talk, Listen, Share and Coffee and Connect throughout the months of November and December. Again, you can find that information on the events page on Shay's Warriors website.
And always on Instagram.
But
Instagram.
and of course on Instagram, on Facebook, all of our social media.
Yeah, cool.
Oh yeah,
Yep.
all
Shay's
of that. So, but our next big things coming up, and they will be here sooner than you expect, of course, is in February. So February 4th, this is going to be a huge save the date. We are Shay's Warriors is the beneficiary again this year from the 25th annual Gardens of El Paseo concert series.
Oh, yeah.
And we are going to the 4th is where there is when Shay's Warriors is going to be benefiting, and they're featuring music from Pulp Fiction. So it should be another amazing event. I was there last year's music event. You were there too, Nate, I know, and Angela as well. So, and that was such a fun night. And great
February,
music.
Yeah, February nights, you get wine if you want it, or they have other things. It's such a reasonable price for the ticket. It's outdoors. It's on El Paseo. It finishes early enough so nobody can complain that, they go to bed too early. It's exciting. You share it. And I think this year the tickets are going to sell out before. If you get ready, buy mine now.
Yeah, why not? I think last year we were almost at 400.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
Cool.
Wow.
So it is a well-attended event. You do not want to miss it. It is so fun, and you can get wine and little light bites. So hey, it's a win-win.
Yep.
Yeah.
Right.
And then also in February, we have what I was trying to do earlier, the Tour de Palm Springs. And I think that's February 11th, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
And you could sign up for that. There's going to be a walk and a ride. I'm going to be leading the ride. And on my electric bike. Okay. And it's only 10 miles. And some people are like, 10 miles seems far. It's just around Palm Springs. It's actually it's a leisurely ride. It's not a race. They have so much food and bands and little stops along the way, and the energy, and again, benefits local charities. And it's just such a fun event. And so I really encourage people to sign up for that too.
Right. Because isn't it you sign up under Shay's Warriors and the proceeds go to Shay's Warriors? Yeah,
a portion of the price. It's very reasonable. I think it's 30. I don't quote me, but it was under $70. I think it was only like $35, $45, and over half of it goes to Shay's Warriors directly, and the other goes to help putting on the event and other things. Because it's a huge event. Like it's one of the most well-known worldwide for the actual bike race, which I don't know is 100 miles or something. But if you want to sign up for that, you're more than welcome also. But I'll be doing the 10-mile things.
Right.
On an electric bike.
And that hits our in our mission, our mind, now our body, so this is working on trying to be fit warriors, move to heal. And they also have a walk. You can do a walk. You don't have to ride.
Good friendly event. It was a real quick story, but it was pretty funny because we were getting ready for the 10-mile. Everybody's kind of lining up, and again, not to race, but just to start the race. And I have my electric bike, so pretty much I don't even have to pedal if I don't want to. And I look over, and there's a little kid that's probably like 7 years old on a small bike. And I'm like, if they can do 10 miles, on their little bike, I felt guilty. By the time I got to the end, and they're like, you get to the end, they're like, here's your little medal, and do you need a water? And I'm like, well, probably not. I don't think I deserve any of this. That little kid who's running up hills, you know what I mean? It was fun.
That's great.
Yes.
All right. So those are pretty much our events, huh?
Yes. And, all of this year, we're really focusing on our fit warriors and moving our body and move to heal. And again, because we know that movement is so integral to survivorship and prevention of recurrence. And so We want to, that's our main goal this year, is to focus on encouraging movement and in any way possible. And there are so many opportunities to join us in getting up, getting moving. And of course, all of these things culminate in June for Cancer Survivor Awareness Month and our major second annual retreat. Again, for 45 women, that is our goal. Hopefully, you can help us make that happen. And I know, Eileen, you were the recipient of one of the recipients of last year's retreat, and just wanted to, if you could give us kind of a lowdown on what that was and
Sure.
what that meant for you.
Well, I was really extremely fortunate to be picked to go. I was one of 25 other women. And, you're a little intimidated because you don't know what's going to happen. And you don't know these other women. But I knew it was something I needed to do as soon as I got the phone call and Shay had said, you were picked, do you want to go? I was like, yes, and for being a little bit nervous and whatever, it was just a wonderful experience, because when you're all done with treatment, and it doesn't matter if you just have a little bit of treatment or you go through months of treatment, when it's all done, you really don't know what to do. You have a lot of emotions that are going through. You're still not feeling like yourself. I was completely out of touch with my mind and my body and the rest of the world. And I had even mentioned to my doctor, I have all these emotions, and at the retreat, as soon as I walked in, you realize you're with other people that have been through the exact same experience that you have. And it's just an instantaneous bond that you don't get anywhere else. And then through the sharing that we did, the yoga, the breathing, listening to everybody's stories, laughing and crying. We danced one night. It just changed my life, because cancer changes things anyway. And what it did for me, it kind of grounded me in a way that I don't think I've been before. It kind of got me in touch with who I was becoming. And part of that is I had started to draw like 3 years ago, and I never owned up to the fact that I was an artist. And after the retreat, I was able to say, I am an artist.
Oh.
And that meant a lot to me, because as I'm driving home, I didn't share it at the retreat, but driving home, I'm going, I'm an artist. It was like, that's what was in my head after all that, and I felt so good. But it was something that I'd written down. And I'd also written down that because of what I was feeling and experiencing, I was going to make it my mission that I would help another person be able to go to this retreat. And so that's why I've become an active volunteer. I want to do whatever I can to help people live life after cancer. And even today, I was at my doctor's, my primary care, and my doctor has also been through cancer. So we were sharing some things, and I started to tell her about Shay's Warriors. And she said she has a patient that was depressed and was worried and scared. And so she wanted information about Shay's. So there you go.
Yeah.
It made me feel good that I could just, maybe help another person.
Wow, what an amazing story.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Yes.
Thanks.
You
And
know
it
what?
doesn't matter, when you go to this, what kind of cancer you have. That's not really the elephant in the room. The elephant in the room is, how do you go on? And it really doesn't matter what kind of cancer you had. What matters is that you're meeting new people and finding new resources and making new friends and, finding a way to move on in a very positive way.
That's awesome.
Yes.
Thank you, Eileen.
In sharing, in any organization or a charity, you want to hope that when you give to a charity, that it's making a difference, right? I mean, that's why people start charities. That's why you give to it. And Eileen, you're such a, just that short, testimonials share so much about that's what Shay's Warriors does. You know what I mean? It's helped you. You're here. You want to volunteer. You can't fake that. It's a real thing. And that's what keeps me a part of Shay's Warriors. And it's so exciting to me that we're actually changing people's lives and doing what we said we're going to do. And you were it. I mean, and the other women, you know what I mean? And Angela, and which is so cool. So it gets me very excited.
Well, when you see that it works, I mean, to be able to have a network of people that you can reach out to in good times and bad times, and just know that they're always there, it's priceless. And then to be able to give back is even more priceless. And to know that with Shay's Warriors, I mean, it's a nonprofit organization that you don't see anywhere else, where 100% goes back to the organization. And all that goes towards having another survivor go to the I Am Hope Survivors Reset Retreat.
And what amazing ripple effect that has in the world that can't always be measured. I mean, it can be measured by looking at your smile and you saying, I am an artist. I mean, it doesn't have to be any more than that, but just to know that, setting those next set of people, and then they spread it, and just amazing. And we're really only limited to 45 because obviously it costs a lot to put on the retreat, you know what I mean? And to offer this to these women free of charge and invite them to come, it could be 1,000. Somebody wants to write the check for 1.2 million or something. I'm making that up for 1,000. Why not?
Why not?
Let's do
Why
it.
not?
If you're out there and you're listening, we'll take it.
Yeah, there's no ceiling.
There's no ceiling. We want to shoot for 45.
Yes.
But,
and that 45 turns into 90, turns into, 150 or whatever, because the more people you touch and experience this, the more people that get helped in the long run.
Yeah, that ripple effect, that's amazing. Awesome.
Yeah. And I know Angela has her own survivorship story as well. And we are wrapping up September, which is Blood Cancer Awareness Month. And Angela, why don't you tell your story and why that's significant and how you got involved in Shay's?
All right. Yeah. So in 2015, I was doing my self-exams, and wow, I kind of feel this lump under my arm, and I was thinking, shoot, am I just getting fat? Am I just gaining some weight? What is this? And it was end of the year, and I'm like, well, I'm going to get a physical in January. I'll just ask them about it then. But I was feeling so fatigued, be driving down the freeway and practically falling asleep, going, wow, am I just too much on my plate? What's going on? So I went in for a physical, and I said, do you feel this? Can you feel this? And they're like, oh yeah, it seems to be something. I'm like, that's just not a fatty deposit or something, right? And they said, no. So got ultrasound, and then MRIs, and then initially they thought it was breast cancer. And so it took from January all the way to April to have a second ultrasound, and somebody say, no, that's just not a cyst. You need to get that surgically removed. So I was sent to a surgeon, and so I go in, and he's like, yeah, I feel it. Yes, I feel it. And at that point I was like, okay, wait a minute, this is real. I mean, I was all this time thinking, it's not anything. It's like, oh yeah, we need to get that removed. So I had the surgery done in April, and then a week and a half later, he calls me, and I'm at work, and he's like, oh yeah, you have lymphoma, stage 2. We need to send you to an oncologist. And I'm like, what? Wait a minute, I have a sophomore in high school. My daughter's graduating from high school, and my older son was in college, and this isn't happening. And I broke down right there, and I was so surprised when I went back to see him. He gave me a hug. He was very, very concerned and compassionate. And so then I got referred to the oncologist, and the lab report came back and it said I had follicular lymphoma, but 20% of it was transforming into aggressive large B cell. So the oncologist, I show up by myself to the oncologist for my first consult, and first thing he asked me is like, "Are you married?" I said, "Yes." It's like, "Well, where's your husband or your spouse?" And I said, "At work." He's like, "Well, can you please bring him next time? Because this is not just a you thing. It affects the whole family. And your husband needs to know and hear what we're discussing so that he's can be on the same page with you." And at that time I was thinking, I'm independent. I don't need, I could do this by myself. I don't need help. So he's like, "Well, you have follicular lymphoma. It's usually, you don't have to do chemotherapy or radiation or anything for it. It's probably been there for about 10, 12 years. It just finally came to the surface and you felt it. So we could probably just watch it." And I said, "Oh, perfect." He's like, "But I want to get PET scans. I want to get another MRI." And I said, "Okay." And he's like, "And then I'm going to send these lab results or labs to City of Hope and just get a second opinion." I said, "Okay, fine." So we go back in, have my scans. I'm in the medical field, so I kind of read it. I'm like, that doesn't seem too big of a deal. Okay. So my husband comes with me on the next visit to discuss the results. And he's like, "Well, because it's transforming into aggressive large B cell, and your scan showed that you have a spot on your lung and in your T12 spine, that means now you're stage 3. And we have to do something about it." He's like, "It's your choice, between you and your husband, whatever you choose to do, it's your choice. But if you are my wife, I recommend chemotherapy." So yeah, I went through 6 sessions of chemotherapy, and then because it was in my spine, they wanted me to do like 14 radiation. And so I did all that, which radiation almost was worse than the chemo for me, because of all the side effects that it has caused. And so I went back, got out, "Oh yeah, you're clean bill of health." And I'm thinking, okay, but now what? Where do I go? Who can I talk to? And they're like, "Oh, well, here's a list of, practitioners that, you can go and talk to, like to a psychiatrist or psychologist." I'm like, no, that's not enough. That's not enough. And saw Shay on Facebook, and she was doing some yoga classes at Desert Cancer Partners. And I said, I knew her from years before, and I didn't realize she was back in town. I said, "I'm going to go just so I can say hi." So I started going to the yoga there, and it all came from there. So Shay wanted to do this retreat, and I said, I've been thinking this all along. Who do I reach out to? Who do I talk to? And I want to be there for that next person that has the same concerns I did or the same fears that I did. And so that's why I am part of this organization. And it's been so fulfilling, and especially going to the retreat and all the hard work that we put in to get the survivors there, Eileen, like yourself.
And you're becoming a public speaker now?
Yes.
Yeah,
so talking.
I am an artist. I am a public speaker. Look at you guys.
Yes.
I
Yes.
know.
Well,
Look at that.
All right, turn the
I
light
am
on.
a doctor. Oh no, Sonia, you're the doctor. I don't just get to say that. I don't think.
yeah. So
You play one on TV?
Use some
Yeah.
light.
yeah. So the being able to be there at the retreat, and I've been very reserved and protected, and I don't really show any side of myself that besides to my family and friends, but to know that it's okay to be vulnerable. I mean, I think that was my fear, is to be vulnerable. And the retreat very much so exposed that that was my fear or my concern, and pulled away those layers. And, speaking in public is something that is, very difficult for me. And I am, I'm reaching out and I'm doing it no matter how uncomfortable it is. As long as I can make a difference in one person, that's all that matters.
Awesome.
So true. So true.
Absolutely.
And what a powerful story you share, because you were part of the 2 years of planning. I mean, going through COVID and all the things that went into the first retreat. So you knew what I hope it will be.
Yes.
And also being a cancer survivor, you're there, and then you get to experience it and see the impact. And obviously, I mean, just another great testimonial to why Shay's Warriors is what it is.
Yes.
Whoa.
So happy.
Very cool.
Thank
It's
you,
actually-
Angela.
It's
Yeah.
actually a year ago today that I went to see the gynecologist, oncologist surgeon. So I'm going on that year cycle,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Cycle's coming around.
Yeah.
We've had some really great responses from our viewers. Debbie said, to Eileen, you are a great artist.
Oh.
And
try.
and I have also seen her work, and it's amazing.
Oh,
So
it is so
Thank you.
amazing.
it's gorgeous.
Thank you.
Definitely
Very,
needs
very,
to
yeah.
publish that.
Oh, yes. And Paula said, praise the Lord for your good health now, Angela, and your story is so inspiring. So thank you. There you go.
There it is.
Thank you, Nate. Thank you,
Yes.
Nate.
And on that note, because it is, September is the blood cancer awareness, leukemia, lymphoma survivors. Shay's Warriors has red teas. So if you would like to support us and buy red tea for somebody you might know that has gone through blood cancer, lymphoma, leukemia, and 100% of the proceeds go directly back for this retreat. So
Did it work this time? Can you see the
yes,
red
you
shirt?
can see it.
Yeah, it's there.
Oh,
Yes.
we are professional.
Yes.
She's talking
Look,
about
it's
it.
on
It just
sale.
appears. Look at that.
And look,
Here's
it's
some
on
of the
sale.
other amazing merch.
That's right.
Awesome.
Some familiar faces. Hey, I think that's the black shirt.
Yeah, there you go. I am a model. I am a doctor. Oh, no. I'm not a doctor. Okay. Fair enough.
Awesome. Thank you, Nate, so much for all the background work.
Yes.
And
you're
of
welcome.
course, we went to all of that information is on Shay's Warriors website. And of course, these programs don't happen by themselves. So we have a lot of community partners that we that we work with and that support Shay's Warriors. I just want to shout out to Gardens of El Paseo, Yoga 6, Club Pilates, Cycle Bar, Nothing But Cakes, Deja Vu Photography, Live Well Clinic, Skin Lab. Lindsay made this, who is our designer and also an amazing artist. So many wonderful community partners that have supported us through many years of this whole process of forming Shays and culminating in our June retreat for these wonderful women. And we are still looking for volunteers.
Yes.
So if any of this is inspiring you, you want to join, you want to be a part of this and be a part of our survivorship support. If you want to speak, if you want to do a podcast, if you want to blog, if you want to help with the background work, because again, we need video editors, we need people who do marketing and email blasts for us, all of these things. We cannot do this alone. We are all volunteers, and we would love to have more volunteers to help us with growing this organization that has such wonderful programming for such an important cause for survivorships and their families and their loved ones and caregivers. So again, if you want to be a part of all of this, please reach out to us at shhhhwarriors@gmail.com, or become a partner or donate. And same thing you can find us shhhhwarriors.org, or on our Instagram page or social media. We are always on top of those things. So thank you so much.
Awesome.
I know there's so many things.
Thanks for inviting me, ladies, to be a part of this tonight. This was fun.
Thank you,
Yes,
Nate, for being
thank you.
here. And
Thanks,
You're
Nate.
welcome.
thank you, Eileen and Angela, for being guests on this special Talk, Listen, Share. And hopefully we will get to see you all again sometime soon.
Yeah, in person,
So-
hopefully.
Yes.
In person, hopefully at our next live at Yoga 6.
Yep.
So come join us for yoga. Get some of your movement and exercise on. So October 19th is our next one. October 15th. 15th, Saturday. 15th. All right. Thank you so much. We're going to wrap up tonight. Have a good night, everyone. And thank you again for joining Talk, Listen, Share. See you again soon.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.